I would like to remind everyone that this show is brought to you by the Dolphin Wars.
What the heck? Hold on.
Pudgy did push that button, but it sounds cool. Everybody headbang!
I tried. I got the Nifty song, and I put that in between the normal, the countdown, and the normal entrance. Did you guys hear it? And did you guys like it?
Pudgy heard it.
Good. So, now that that's over with, welcome to King Dolphin TV, episode 156. I am Raymond, the author of the Dolphin Wars trilogy and ruler of the best pod in YouTube. I am here with the Hedgehog, with the myth, with the legend, Pudgy Hedgehog. Hello.
Yay! Thank you, Mr. Raymond, for letting Pudgy come on the show. Pudgy loved the Mr. Raymond show.
I'm glad you're here. We want to talk about your new channel, what you guys want to, what made you guys decide to make your own channel and expand the Pudgyverse. And Legatus and Sandra ask, what's wrong with Pudgy?
Oh.
And Pudgy sounds odd. And Snortopupus whispers, maybe he's going through the change of life. So we may have to explain that, but let's welcome the chat. We've got Dalek 451. Hello, Dalek. How are you? Glad you can make it. We got the first in, the last out, Legatus Legion 9. We've got our producer Sandra, and of course we cannot forget.
The hardest working bear in all the internet.
Yes. Snortopupus! Cuber.com. Oh, this is cool to get this music on a Wednesday. We got to find a way to make it all the time.
And currently, Sniffles is in a secret, undisclosed location.
Yep, maybe he'll come out after he takes his nap. All right, so I guess the first question is, everybody's asking, what happened to your voice? So you may want to explain that before we get going.
Okay. When Pudgy started recording the videos for YouTube, Pudgy noticed that sometimes Pudgy's voice started to not sound exactly right. Sometimes the words would blend together. It's something that Mr. Starch said on some of the Saturday shows, that the squeaky voice, which Pudgy can't help, but there's limits, with hedgehogs and microphones and everything. So Pudgy asked Cobalt, "Is there something that we can do?" So Cobalt went into the microphone and something called an equalizer and started pushing buttons and moving levers, and now Pudgy's voice sounds somewhat clearer. So that's the reason why the Pudgy voice sounds different. Now, the good news is Pudgy still has the button. So Pudgy can push the button.
And then Pudgy sounds back to normal. So there's two Pudgy voices. There's the voice that Pudgy normally uses, and then there's
Studio Pudgy.
Okay. Well.
So which is better? Is Studio Pudgy voice better? Can you understand it better?
Well, let's put it out to the chat. I think either way is fine. I think either way.
So let Pudgy use standard language when you go to the eye doctor. Is it better 1, Studio Pudgy,
or 2, original Pudgy?
Okay, chat. What do you say?
Or 3, Mirror Pudgy? Ha ha!
No! Where'd he come from? Okay, Legata says, does Pudgy have a helmet voice too?
Pudgy, why did you press the button for Mirror Pudgy?
Sorry, Cobalt. Now, you might have noticed the Cobalt sounds different too. That's because we're going all out. Pudgy has a studio. Cobalt's out in the big room next to Pudgy's studio.
Wow.
We got wires strung up in the trees. There's antennas every which direction. The birdies are completely confused. And whenever Pudgy goes to broadcast mode, then we take out the Wi-Fi for the entire county.
I can imagine. Snorter Poopa says, it's a little easier to hear, but Squeaky Pudgy sounds so adorbs.
Well, there's a reason why Pudgy had to go with a clearer voice. And that's because you may have noticed on Pudgy's Twitter account that Pudgy mentioned that the Pudgy stories are going to be adapted for YouTube. So that means Pudgy's going to be telling stories on YouTube, and in order so that people can hear better, that's why we had to go with a clearer voice.
Okay. So what made you and Cobalt decide to set up this YouTube channel, which I think is a great idea?
Well, because Mr. Raymond is awesome.
Aww.
And Pudgy had so much fun on the Mr. Raymond show, and then Pudgy said to Cobalt, it would be really neat if Pudgy had own channel too, and Cobalt was for the longest time saying, I don't know, Pudgy, I don't think this is a good idea. And then Cobalt said, you know what, Pudgy, let's go for it.
All right. That sounds good. I'm glad you're getting a channel. And so you're going to you're going to put your stories in, like what we've done on,
yeah, just like with Radio King Dolphin TV.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Yeah, Pudgy had a lot of fun doing that. And the way that Pudgy and Cobalt are going to do the stories is that they're going to be not live streams. They're going to be set up with as standard videos.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to be broken into parts. And the first story series that we're going to do is the Hunted storyline. And Cobalt is downloading and modifying pictures like crazy, he's gonna try animation.
Ooh.
It's not gonna be like like the stuff where the Japanese people scream and they don't have any noses. But it's gonna be like still shots and then uh, uh, one or two frames. Wait, Cobalt, this is complicated. What? Pudgy can't read this script.
Okay, Pudgy, I'll take over. Okay, let me switch off the studio mic.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right. Hey, Cobalt.
Hello.
Glad to hear from you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so basically the way I'm going to do this is well, actually, the first plan was for Pudgy to do the animation.
Mm-hmm.
What? But Pudgy can't do animation.
And then, wait, Pudgy, don't click the studio voice.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Cobalt.
Okay, who's the engineer, Pudgy or Cobalt?
Well, here's the problem. I didn't flip the switch to override the Hedgehog control panel. So it's a case where, like whenever you you see the student drivers and there's two steering wheels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the driver, or the instructor, he hasn't flipped the switch.
Mm.
So Pudgy can push a button and I can push a button, and then it'll be the same thing.
Oh, better watch out about confusing the polarity.
Ain't that the truth? Aha! I pushed the button.
Oh,
Go
boy.
away there, Pudgy. Pudgy didn't flip the switch.
Oh boy, we're gonna have switch wars.
Okay, so now Mirror Pudgy's been locked out of the panel, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the way it's going to work is it's going to be real simple animation. I'm going to stylize historical photos for World War II,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's going to be like one or two frames where they're going to flash, on and off. I'm going to try it and see how this works, and if it works good, then I can adapt it for other animation.
Okay. All right.
Yes, so I got broadcast software, image editing software. Yeah, I'm using the free program. It's called GIMP, GIMP. It's a lot like Photoshop, but not quite. There's no cost for it,
Mm-hmm.
so there's some limitations within the program. But overall, it's really good. And
Oh, okay.
if everything works correctly, then Pudgy will get some higher quality imagery. And then the other thing is that due to the copyright monster, there's going to have to be some minor changes to the Pudgy storyline. Not the overall structure. Pudgy's still going to do what Pudgy does. The only difference is that certain things have to be removed.
Okay. Yeah, and we talked about that in the back room. So yeah. Yeah. So Snow Pooper says, use whatever voice you wish, a voice for all occasions. Just don't try to do a polar bear voice. It's very deep and rumbly. Now,
Okie Store the Poop is.
now is the older Pudgy pictures going to go away and be replaced with the new improved Pudgy here? Because you know that. Go ahead.
All right, so the older Pudgy pictures are correct.
Okay.
Whenever you turn the cameras off and Pudgy's running around outside, that's how Pudgy looks.
Okay.
for the purposes of YouTube and for any other related media, it's going to be what you currently see on the screen.
Okay. And why, if I may ask, why?
Copyright as well as potential trademark issues. So basically, one of the things that we have to be concerned about is, potential rights holder situations.
I understand that.
For example, let's say that Pudgy all of a sudden starts to go on adventures with a dolphin, and that dolphin happens to have a spaceship, and they live somewhere out in Hawaii / the Philippines. Obviously the rights holder, Raymond, would say, "Hey," and more importantly, if all of a sudden, we start processing super chats and payments, then you're going to say, "Hey." So same situation. I've done as much research as I can for the behind the scenes stuff. So knock on wood too, Pudgy.
Okay. Knock.
Okay.
Everything should be okay in this configuration.
Okay. Cool. Sounds very very, very interesting, and I'm looking.
It's so technical. Pudgy just wanted to go on YouTube. Pudgy didn't know there'd be so much software and research and imaging image programs. And Pudgy thought Pudgy get on YouTube and then cookies appear, but the cookies don't appear yet. We have to hit watch hours and subscriber counts. And then there's 1099s. Ha ha! Yes, the evil 1099. Ha
ha! Go away.
Actually, it does sound like you guys are entering the mirror universe.
Pudgy hope not.
Yeah, with all the legal mumbo jumbo, as Legatus Legionii says, lawyer speak. So besides the stories, what else are you planning on doing?
Well, Pudgy's been playing games. So,
yeah.
The first game was Vampire Survivors, and then the second game was Team Fortress 2, which makes Pudgy really, really mad.
Ooh.
Pudgy's made an angry face now. Pudgy thought, oh, okay, Pudgy played Team Fortress 2, and then the first thing that happens is some guy on voice chat says the naughty word, so that Pudgy has to end that show or that game and go in and make the changes, and then once Pudgy turned off the voice chat thingy, then the YouTube chat thingy disappeared, and then the YouTube chat thingy came back, and then Pudgy started playing Team Fortress 2 again, and Pudgy's really, really bad, and Pudgy thought, oh, Pudgy played casual and everything would be fine. No, Pudgy really, really bad. Pudgy need Dalek and Doomcock helmet and exterminate, but the problem is it doesn't work because there's other people that have been doing that game for 13-something years and that know it better than Pudgy. So Pudgy decided Pudgy's not going to play Team Fortress 2 again. So there's a bunch of other games that Pudgy's going to stream, and maybe just maybe. Not right now, because it's too expensive and the game's kind of bad. Pudgy wants to try something called Grey Hill Incident.
Ooh.
It's a horror game. So aliens attack a Massachusetts farming town, and you gotta go around and save the neighbors, and all you have is tin foil, a revolver, and a lead pipe. But the problem is, the game's got a really, really bad rating on that Steam thingy. So Pudgy's gonna wait until it gets really, really cheap, and then we'll say to Cobalt, Pudgy wanna play the game, and then Cobalt will say, we gotta wait till it gets cheaper, and then eventually it will get so cheap that it doesn't matter. And then Pudgy will play the game, and then it'll be the horse game where Pudgy will scream the entire time as the aliens attack.
Isn't that going to be a little hard on Pudgy's psyche? That might make you scared.
Yeah, that's the reason why we're gonna wait and wait and wait and wait till it gets to a point where the game is so cheap that it doesn't matter. Or Pudgy will forget, and we will switch to a different game, like Minecraft.
Oh, my granddaughter loves Minecraft.
Pudgy loved Minecraft too. The best part about Minecraft is digging holes. And then there's that one metal song that Cobalt listens to sometimes. It's about dwarves and digging holes. And Pudgy's like, Pudgy's a hedgehog digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. And Pudgy's singing it the entire time, and Cobalt covers his eyes with his wing, and he's like, oh, God, but Pudgy, stop singing that song. You can play Minecraft, but you can't keep singing it over and over. And Pudgy's like, Pudgy's a hedgehog digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. 5 hours pass, and Cobalt's like, but Cobalt doesn't care anymore. But Cobalt turned the game off, and Pudgy's like, no, Pudgy's not done playing yet. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole.
I could see why Cobalt's would go bananas about that. Dalek451 asks, are you sure playing horror games is a good idea for you, Pudgy?
Pudgy doesn't know, Mr. Dalek. It's an idea, it's a suggestion that some nice person said that Pudgy, another nice person said that Pudgy should try something called Doom, whatever that is. And Pudgy's like, oh, that's a good idea. But there's so many Doom games out there. There's one that's all like grainy and pixelated, and there's these brown guys that shoot marshmallows at you. And Pudgy's like, oh, that sounds like an interesting game. And there's a chainsaw in the game, and then chainsaw Pudgy can come out to play.
Oh, okay.
But then there's another one that makes Cobalt really, really mad.
How come?
Well,
Yes, it makes me really, really mad. I bought that for my original gaming PC, and the game is absolutely terrible. Everyone that has ever played Doom 3 knows what I'm talking about. The original Doom 3, you had to pick up the flashlight to illuminate the darkness, but then you couldn't fight the monsters, so you had to drop the flashlight and bring up the weapon. So then you'd be shooting in the dark because you couldn't see anything. Now they eventually patched it and re-released it so that you have where the flashlight. Oh, I don't know. Is electrical tape to the weapon. If it works in Aliens, why didn't they put it in the game?
Simple to sell the DLC. Ha ha!
Go away.
Oh, boy.
No.
Uh-oh. Hello, Mirror Pudgy.
Cobalt, Pudgy doesn't know how this is happening. Pudgy pushed the button to turn off the Mirror Pudgy part of the panel.
Uh-oh. There must be a...
Wait a minute. Did you plug in the SCSI cable? It's right on one end.
Yes?
Unplug it.
Dalek 451 says, yes, play Doom, the original. And Sandra asks, what if you don't like your neighbors?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, the good news is that Pudgy lives underneath the ground. The only way that people can see into Pudgy's house is if Pudgy opens his kitchen window.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bunnies peek in and they're like, Pudgy, we want to play. And then they're like, oh, what's YouTube? Oh, and let's watch the Mr. Raymond show again. And then we turn on the Dalek show, but it's so late that the bunnies fall asleep and then the Pudgy falls asleep. But not to worry, we watch the Dalek show later when everyone's awake.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
are you gonna...
and then we turned on anti-derivative Jill, and she was talking about something called UFO, and and it was set in the 70s, and Pudgy's like, Pudgy doesn't remember this show, and then Cobalt had to explain to Pudgy that it was a long, long time ago when Pudgy
Yep.
wasn't born yet.
Yep. That's true. That's true. So, and here is anti-derivative Jill, who says, hello, Pudgy.
Hi, Jill. Yay!
And Alex says, you watched my show. Which one?
Well, it had a Dalek in it, and you were talking about a video game. Pudgy has to try to remember which one it is. But the best one is Dalek has a choo-choo train video. The bunnies really like the choo-choo train video, and then but they don't. It doesn't look like choo-choo trains that are over here. It's a different type of choo-choo train, and then it goes choo-choo, 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 choo, and then it goes right past. And Pudgy likes the choo-choo train video, but the problem is that it doesn't stop to pick up Dalek.
Ah. Yeah, the train needed to pick up Dalek.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So, and then also Pudgy wanted to do interviews, but we learned on the first interview test stream that the thing that Cobalt thought and Pudgy also thought would work didn't necessarily work. We got it working eventually, but there's a lot of configuration things on the end or on behind the scenes, and then there's all these extra thingies that you can download to make it work better. So Mr. Raymond said that Pudgy should use something called StreamYards. So Pudgy's looking into that right now.
Yeah. Because StreamYards, even in its free configuration, you can have 6 people come in for a panel, and you can do interviews like we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And but
Yeah, because Pudgy want to have Mr. Raymond on the official first interview, and then Pudgy possibly has a second interview lined up, but it's a script writer, and he's out on the West Coast somewhere, so it's kind of hard to coordinate schedules. We're still working on that as an option.
Okay. Well, you've got ideas. You got to start. How many subscribers have you gotten on your test stream? Here,
Okay, let Pudgy look up the official Pudgy Hedgehog Adventures YouTube channel.
Wait. Okay. Let's see.
And let's wait. Not Twitter. Pudgy gotta push the YouTube button.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, push the YouTube button. Hey, Mr. Raymond, what's hentai?
That's a little adult. That's a little too adult for you, Pudgy.
Okay,
I'm on your channel, and I saw You would need the censor blankie.
okay, so Pudgy's gonna skip that button. Pudgy, it says on YouTube.
What's Cobalt doing with hentai button?
Well, no, Cobalt. It's not on Cobalt's channel, or stream or Pudgy doesn't know these terms. Pudgy's still getting used to all these new buttons to play with. No, Pudgy was watching other channels, and they were talking about that funny stuff, and it's like everywhere there's fuzzy squares, and Pudgy's like, why does people like this stuff? It's just fuzzy squares and weird sounds, and Pudgy's like, this is dumb. So anyway, Pudgy pushed the button on YouTube to get to the official Pudgy Hedgehog Adventures channel, and it says Pudgy has 31 subscribers. Yay!
Yay! Congratulations. Here, I'm going to share the link. Or I'm going to share. Let's see. Here is what the YouTube channel looks like.
Yay!
Yep, Pudgy Hedgehog Adventures.
And if you click on the About tab, there's a thank you to Mr. Raymond.
Aw, let me see. Aw, special thanks to Mr. Raymond at King Dolphin TV. And I got a link. There's a link right there. Thank you, Pudgy.
Hi, you're welcome, Mr. Raymond. Yeah, Cobalt met a very nice person at Sushisha. Pudgy probably said that wrong. We're sorry, Sushisha Studios, if Pudgy mispronounced your name. They're the ones that did the art, and the even more technical thing is something called rigging to make the to make Pudgy appear like this on the screen.
So, what faces can this version of Pudgy do?
Well, Pudgy can do happy.
Happy.
Pudgy can do normal. Pudgy can do
Angry Pudgy.
angry Pudgy, or the other thing is like determined Pudgy. And then we can also do sleepy Pudgy.
What about Pudgy Ponders?
Wait, what was that, Mr. Raymond?
What about Pudgy Ponders?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. Yeah, Dalek says, don't look at that, Pudgy. And let's see. Snorta Poopa says, the moon is an odd place. Our fur turns purple there.
Purple bears? Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe that's where those grateful people came from.
Dalek says, the first video I ever uploaded to YouTube was of a steam train at a place called the Severn Valley Railway. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Pudgy and the bunnies really like that train video. Yay!
Yeah. Legata says, working. Legatus also says 102 views total. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever Pudgy does the live streams or the shows, but Pudgy's trying not to go go really really long. Pudgy's like 1 to 2 hours total. Eventually, whenever Pudgy starts doing the story videos, that's gonna be probably 15 minutes or so. Pudgy doesn't know. It depends on the way things go. And then here's the other thing. Wait, Cobalt.
Okay, Pudgy pushed the button again.
Okay.
Basically, I am in the process of converting and adapting all of the Pudgy stories into scripts. So, once I have things scripted out and then set up in that fashion, then it will be, then I'll start the actual, the actual filming and put Pudgy in the booth. Separate the M&Ms because he's becoming very insistent on bowls of green M&Ms.
Oh no, he's becoming a diva.
Well, Pudgy liked the bowl of green M&Ms. And
Yeah.
the bowl of the red ones, and the bowl of the yellow ones, and the blue ones, and the brown ones. And then once you have them all separated, you dump them back into the big bowl, and then you eat them.
Wait, Pudgy, that defeats the purpose of that. Why do I have to separate the M&Ms for you to put them back together?
Because Pudgy likes to have the red ones on the bottom.
Okay, we're going to come back to that later.
Yeah, that sounds like the possibility of a diva hedgehog.
Well, I'll just keep the donuts out in my room.
No! Why do you have donuts?
The guy says there are 52 views for Hi Everyone, and then 25 for Vampire Survivor, and 25 for Team Fortress. All right, so that's your total views out there. Yay.
Yay.
Yep. And so you've got now. Are the bunnies interfering with your studio work? Because you know how those bunnies are.
So far, the bunnies do not know about all the control panels and everything. They're too busy running around and playing around the river. And then they put their baby sister into the catapult. They fire the baby sister across the river. And then the mama bunny comes out and she's like, "No, you stop firing your baby sister across the river." And the brother bunnies are like, "We didn't throw our baby sister across the river. She voluntarily got into the catapult and voluntarily pulled the lever and voluntarily flew across the river. She signed the release waiver here." And Bunny Mom then goes to Cobalt and says, "Where did they get the release waiver from?" And Cobalt doesn't know.
Oh, I think I know. I think I know, and I think he's hiding elsewhere.
Well, no, Pudgy disconnected the SCSI cable. Mirror Pudgy can't come back. We can say Mirror Pudgy all we want, and he can't come back now.
As far as we know. Let's see. Legatus says bunnies are too busy making bunnies. Wahaha. Wahaha. So, all right. Chat, you can ask questions all you want for Ask Pudgy anything you want. He will answer anything. So, let's see here. When do you expect the debut to happen, Pudgy?
What do you mean? Pudgy's channel's already active. Or
Right.
do you mean the date?
The official unveiling.
Oh. Pudgy never thought of doing an official unveiling. Pudgy just started doing test streams and stuff like that Probably the best bet would be whenever Pudgy starts releasing the stories.
Okay. Is that one you'll have me on?
Well, as soon as Pudgy configures everything and gets the uh, like the stream thingy, whenever Pudgy gets that working, yeah, and then Pudgy will have the Mr. Raymond on, and then Pudgy possibly will have number 2 person on. But Pudgy can't say who number 2 is yet because we're still working it out.
Okay. Good. Screenwriter, you may have to get me or get me the information too, so I can bring him on too. But I'm not going to compete with Pudgy. I would never do that. Let's see. Oh, this is a very. Go ahead, Pudgy.
Well, Pudgy was going to say Pudgy doesn't want to compete with Mr. Raymond because Mr. Raymond is awesome. Pudgy whenever does broadcasts and other releases, Pudgy makes certain to check that Mr. Raymond is not on, and Jill's not on, and Dalek's not on, and Baron's not on, and Captain Fandom Nerd is not on, and Mr. Loki, and all the other nice Pudgy friends that have YouTube channels. Pudgy doesn't want to compete with or overlap with everyone, so Pudgy looks first and then does a show.
Okay, that sounds very reasonable, and of course, it allows you to get guests in.
Mm-hmm. Like for test stream number 2, whenever Pudgy decided to play that stupid Team Fortress game, that's when Pudgy realized that you can schedule YouTube, and then that gives Pudgy time to do promotion. And then Pudgy actually got people to show up this time, so Pudgy had a lot of fun.
Yep, I was on there. Dalek was on there. Yep, we were on there. Legatus Legionai has a question. And it's a variation on your hard-hitting question. What is Mirror Pudgy's least favorite cookie?
Okay, Pudgy's gonna connect the cable, and we'll put Mirror Pudgy back on. Okay, Mirror Pudgy. Pudgy's connected the cable and pushed the mirror button. Please be good. No. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Whoa. Oh, my.
Please. Pudgy's sorry. Pudgy just did what Cobalt asked Pudgy to do.
Oh, sure. Blame me.
Okay, I'll talk to Pudgy, but not to Cobalt. He's a stinky head.
A stinky head. Whoa.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, boy. Well,
what is Mirror Pudgy's least favorite cookie?
Yes.
Okay, least favorite. Mirror Pudgy has only had it once. It was like a sugar cookie, but they put cranberries in it, and the person made it sound like, oh, this is the most wonderful cookie. It was sour. It didn't taste right. Mirror Pudgy's like, this is dumb. Why would you waste a good cookie and put cranberries in it? There's a reason why cranberries that float out in swamps.
Float out in swamps?
Mirror Pudgy, that's referred to as a bog. They grow the cranberries and then they flood the bog. That way they can harvest them because the cranberries float up to the surface of the water.
You know that cranberries are evil because they have to put a metric ton of sugar into each bottle to make it palatable to drink. Oh, that makes sense. Cranberries come from the mirror universe, and they somehow make it to your universe. Ha ha!
Oh, God.
That does make a lot of sense, Mirror Pudgy. Because Pudgy drank cranberry juice once, and it tasted terrible. And it dried Pudgy's mouth out. And Pudgy looked at Cobalt and said, "Why did you buy cranberry juice?" And Cobalt said, "Because it was on sale." And then we tried to blend it with other stuff. And no matter what you do, it still tastes like cranberries. Because the cranberries are evil. Ha ha!
And that was the reason why we stopped buying cranberry juice here in the forest.
Standra says, a very astute observation. Very astute. I don't know. I kind of like cranberry juice. Okay, did I just did I say something wrong by saying I like cranberry juice?
No, that's fine. Cranberry juice exists for a reason. Pudgy doesn't know what the reason is, but it exists.
Maybe that will be our next episode. Is what is the reason for cranberry juice? Next on King Dolphin TV Mysteries. Cue X-File song. Do, do, do. Cranberry juice poured over orange sherbet is tasty. Ooh, that does sound good.
Right, because you use the orange sherbet to cover up the taste of the cranberry juice.
True.
Hi, Snoopy!
Yep, Snoopy's pacing. Legata says, that is like Worf saying prune juice is the drink of warriors.
True, and also they had to do that because you can't have alcohol on TV and maintain the PG rating.
True.
If you think about Star Trek, and that's the problem because every so often Pudgy does think about Star Trek, and then Pudgy is like, why is Pudgy thinking about Star Trek again? And then Pudgy turns on Next Generation, and they talk about fire wine, but do you ever see a Klingon drink it? No. And the reason why is the fire wine, they couldn't get the sponsor, with Budweiser or any of the other beer companies in the in the human world. Now, the Goddess Legion does have a valid point. They do drink a lot of Romulan ale, and the reason why is it was a lot cheaper to get windshield washer fluid than for fire wine. Because if you think about it, they have it. There's all these cups of it, but do you see anyone ever take a sip and drink it? No. And it looks just like windshield washer fluid.
That is true.
Which Pudgy can attest, boys and girls. Never drink windshield washer fluid. It doesn't taste good and it's poisonous.
Yes.
Yeah, and it gave you a really upset tummy, didn't it?
Yes, and that's the reason why Pudgy never tasted that bottle again.
Huh. Okay. All right. Scotty and all the drinks he has. And it's green.
Yeah,
it's green.
But Scotty was from the original series. That was back in the 60s when anything could be done and everything was new. there was nothing known as a trope because it hadn't been invented yet.
True.
And there was that one episode where Scotty was drinking, and there was an alien, and then he was trying to make the alien pass out, so he went behind the scenes and pulled out a dusty bottle, and it was something that he had been saving, and Pudgy's like, "Oh, what's in the bottle?" And then Pudgy realized what's in the bottle. It's the same stuff that tipsy bartender guy on YouTube uses. Pudgy doesn't know why he made drinks green alcohol, but now Pudgy knows you have to get rid of the aliens.
It's green. Yep.
And right now, Pudgy has activated anti-derivative Jill's vast knowledge of Star Trek stuff, and at the same time, she's like, "That doesn't make any sense."
By any other name, yes, I remember that.
And eventually, Captain Fandom Nerd's gonna watch this, and he's gonna be like, "Hey."
Oh, and an exclamation point. Let's see. And go to Pudgy Adventures website. Legatus asks, are you planning on trying different games, or will you be completing them once you pick the one you like?
Well, right now, Pudgy's playing a wide variety. Pudgy asked Cobalt first, "Can you download some games for Pudgy?" And Cobalt said yes. And then Cobalt played a bunch of them, to a certain point, and then to see if they were Hedgehog appropriate, and then eventually yes. So Pudgy has something called Half-Life. And the best part about Half-Life is you get a crowbar. And then Minecraft and Portal and all these story games. Now, there was one thing that Pudgy was watching that for some reason the Nintendo games are restricted, and they come after you if you play them. So Pudgy's gonna have to skip those just to be safe.
All right. And hello, Lenrod. He was calling from work. Hail, at work as always. Hello, Lenrod.
Hi, Lenrod.
And anti-derivative Jill quotes Scott, "We did it, you and me." Kiss his bottle. Put him right under the table, right before he passes out.
Yep.
Yep.
Pudgy also liked the original series episode with all the tribbles, because Pudgy's like, "Oh boy, the whole ship's full of hedgehogs."
Well, not quite. Not quite. They don't have prickly fur.
Boy, that would have been really confusing for Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock and all of them. Like, all these Pudgies, and Pudgy's cousins and grand cousins and grandparents. So all these hedgehogs are just wandering around the ship, and they're like, "Where did all these hedgehogs come from?" And then Pudgy, wearing a Captain Kirk shirt, says, "Show me to where the green hedgehog women are."
Awesome.
And then once Pudgy Kirk found the green hedgehog women, the door closes and then it fades to morning.
All right.
What actually happens, Pudgy doesn't know.
That's probably best. course, I bet you Pudgy the Hedgehog is a chick magnet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And the
you're
best
in.
part and the best part is if you ask real nicely, you can also get eggs.
Eggs. Okay. What are you going to do with eggs? Well, I know, bake.
Yeah, make cookies and bread and other stuff.
Ah. Snorterpoopus says a hedgehog triple hybrid would be interesting. Imagine a ship full of purring sand spurs. They would be clinging on more than the Klingons. True.
Klingon, apply directly to the forehead. Klingon, apply directly to the forehead. Klingon, apply directly to the forehead. 12 hours later, the Vulcans are like, make it stop! How do we make it stop? And then the Ferengi show up and they say, well, you just have to give us 12 gold pressed latinum, and then we'll upgrade your television sets to get off the Hedgehog channel. And the Vulcans are like, we don't even remember signing up for television service.
Isn't that like the warranties that they say we've got, but we don't have?
Yeah. Pudgy bought this handheld game. That was when Pudgy had a part-time job. For everyone watching, Pudgy used to work a part-time job. Pudgy used to turn the school zone light on, in the sign that would say slow 15 mph, and then Pudgy would turn it off whenever it was done with school stuff. But they've laid Pudgy off and replaced Pudgy with a garden timer. Darn you, technology!
How did you get up to push the button?
It was real simple. There wasn't any buttons involved. You just had to reach down, and there was a red wire, and there was a black wire, and you would have to connect them together, and then Pudgy's teeth would wiggle, and then the sign would turn on. And then at the end of Pudgy's shift, Pudgy would separate the wires, Pudgy's teeth would stop wiggling, and the sign would turn off.
Ah, so that's how it happened. And of course, all the spikes got straight. Lenrod says that's how the Romulans came to be.
That's right, because they figured out a way to get out of the television contract. But then the people on Vulcan that made money from the television contract, they said the Romulans are bad. So they sent them off to their own planet. But they didn't give them the Wi-Fi password.
Ooh.
So then the Romulans got really mad. And then they found people that did have the Wi-Fi password. But the problem is their name started with a K. So then they had to become the Cardassians. And then the Cardassians said, wait a minute, we're tired of sharing the Wi-Fi with you. So then they turned it off, and then it turned into a big war. And then these Dominion people showed up, and the Dominion people are like, we have free unlimited Wi-Fi. And everyone was like, oh, wow. And then they charged them for the Wi-Fi. And then the Klingons showed up and said, we're just going to take the Wi-Fi. And then it turns out that it wasn't the internet to begin with. It was all silver-colored chocolate coins. And thus, that's how the Dominion War got started.
Ah, the real reason the Dominion War got started.
Everyone wanted internet, but they got chocolate coins instead.
Ah. Yes, look at us. That is the right episode. Trying to drink Tomar under the table. Scotty enters a bit tipsy with a bottle of green liquid. I found this on Ganaroo, Ganimera, me. and also famous for Kirk putting his boots on, putting his boots back on for some reason. Yeah, I'm sure we all know what that was.
Yep. Klingon, apply directly to the forehead. Klingon, apply directly to the forehead.
Yep. Yep. So it does sound like the Pudgy channel is going to be awesome.
Pudgy hopes so, but even though it's been a lot of work, Pudgy's been having a lot of fun because Pudgy gets to push the buttons. See, Cobalt does all the complicated stuff, and then Pudgy sits down and is like, "Okay, it's time to play." And for some reason, Cobalt looks really tired, but he just gives Pudgy a big hug, and then we start the broadcast.
Okay. And you are pressing the buttons and having fun.
Yep.
Yep. Let's see. I know one of your fans, Cadian, was kind of sad that he didn't get to be the first one to be your first subscriber. I don't know who your first one would have been.
Oh, that was Cobalt. After Pudgy's channel went live, Cobalt made sure to sign up because after the shows are done, then Cobalt puts the show back on the big screen, and then Cobalt and Pudgy watch it to see if there's any things that we need to fix. So it's a learning experience. Pudgy's like, but Pudgy wants to go play, but no, we have to watch the show again. And sometimes we watch the show a couple times, but each time that Pudgy broadcasts, it's getting better and better.
Yes. Yep, it's a learning experience. Here I am at 176 episodes.
Yeah, you're doing really good.
I have friends like you helping.
Yay!
Yeah. And I got friends like Cobalt helping. And I got friends like everybody in the chat helping. So it's all good. And I wish you a lot of luck, Pudgy. And I can't wait to be on your show again.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. Yeah, Pudgy can't wait either. We have to try to get the stream thingy working.
Yep.
The good news is that OBS seems to be working fine. Speaking of OBS, Pudgy has new buttons to play with in OBS, so that way, whenever stuff starts to happen, Pudgy can push things. So, thing number 1 is...
Oh, cool.
So Pudgy will use that screen whenever Pudgy has problems. That way, people can see the screen, but not necessarily see the stuff behind the scenes. So that way, nothing bad might accidentally pop out. Although, Cobalt did some stuff on the Pudgy computer screens, so that way, even if it does pop out, you can't see anything. So because I like Mr. Raymond, who you have your stream show thingy, or you go to the camera, for your room shot. Pudgy has like 15 buttons to press, to do all these extra things and capture this game and do that audio thingy. So Pudgy's setup is really, really complicated. And then this is the current version. Pudgy might want to add some stuff to it, but at the end of the show, Pudgy's gonna put up this.
Aw, that's cool.
And as you can see, the colors are slightly different. that way it looks like the show's at night.
Ah.
Yeah, so but Pudgy's broadcasting during the day, and then when the show's over, then everything starts to fade away, and then it just just ramps down.
Nice.
Yeah, this background is well, it is free. It's something called royalty free, but Pudgy still has to make certain that Pudgy uses or does credit. So whenever Pudgy used this background image, Pudgy credited the artist, but Pudgy found all these wonderful backgrounds to use. So as long as Pudgy provides credit to the artist, then Pudgy can use the images without a problem. Although, depending on how complicated we get, Pudgy found artists on Twitter. So Pudgy can commission stuff, whatever that means. Pudgy wonders if they work for cookies. Pudgy's gonna let Cobalt work on that, but for now, we're gonna stick with the free stuff.
All right. Free stuff is good. Let's see.
Now there is something that Pudgy's thinking about, because Pudgy's been watching the VTubers, whenever they talk and they do game thingies, and they have like something that surrounds the screen. Pudgy thinks it's called an overlay. So Pudgy talked to Cobalt about it, so now we're working on it. But the neat part is it's gonna what Pudgy wants to do is it'll have the Pudgy channel on the overlay, and then Pudgy's Twitter, and then some other information, maybe the Pudgy website, so that way.
Actually, Pudgy, I have something like that called Linktree.
Oh, okay.
And that shows here. I will show you what it does.
Mr. Raymond gets to push the button.
Yes, Mr. Raymond pushes the button. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see. There you go.
Oh boy, nifty.
Yep. You can, with the push of the, you could push the button to get the website. You could push to get on King Dolphin TV. You can go to my Twitter and other things. So if you want, just go check out Linktree. It's free. Grace Saley told me about this.
Oh boy.
Yep. So let's see. Legata says, "Who needs enemies when you have friends like us?" And Legatus asks, "How many drafts do you do on average for each chapter of your adventures before it gets released?"
Well, Pudgy tells Cobalt what happens, and then Cobalt writes it down, and then Pudgy goes out to play, and then eventually a story appears.
Okay. Pudgy, our Phantom Outsider. Hello, Phantom Outsider. How are you, my friend? Good to see you here. And he says, that's how commissions work. Just look for the "will work for cookies" label.
Okie dokie, Mr. Phantom.
We noticed sometimes Pudgy said "darn" and other words during the gaming streams. Will we expect such language in future game streams as well? I know some gamers use schoolyard language. Bleep.
Well, the official Hedgehog swear filter is in effect. So, Pudgy cannot say bad words. Otherwise, it will be replaced by another suitable replacement word, such as fudge or fruit or filbert
or strawberries.
or strawberries. Oh, strawberries sound good.
Uh-huh.
Boy, Pudgy wonders if the strawberries are finally growing in the fields. Every year we try to plant them, and every year they don't do so well. And then the bunnies get them.
Yep.
And Pudgy's like, can't Pudgy just have one? And there's all these bunnies giggling with red colored faces.
Ah. Lenrod says, sounds like Pudgy has a cold. Oh. No, it's just working on the new voices.
Yeah, Mr. Lenrod, Cobalt was changing the audio settings so that Pudgy sounds clearer.
Let's see. Phantom Outsider says to Legatus, you do realize the phrase poison pen started as poison quill and hedgehogs have quills. The poison comes from the over-the-top salty language of adult hedgehogs is legendary. Okay. As good an explanation as I've heard. Sandra says, it's past strawberry season. The last 2 years were not good crops.
Maybe that explains why the bunnies were so quick to eat them.
Yeah. I've got a cherry tree in my backyard, and I have yet to get any good cherries from it. All I see is the seeds going into the pond that I have to clean out.
Well, Pudgy knows from the squirrels, whenever you plant a cherry tree, it takes a really long time before they actually make cherries.
But
So
this tree...
When did you plant the tree?
It's been there before we even moved into this house. So it's been there for a long time.
Okay, then that means the tree is what is referred to as a pain in the butt.
Well said, Pudgy. Well said. And Snort says, Thelger carb works nicely. Yep. Yeah. Oh, and I've seen your frog buddy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he just sits there looking and probably saying, where's Pudgy? Where's my friend Pudgy?
Well, Pudgy's been really busy, Mr. Frog, but Pudgy will come back.
All right.
Yeah, besides, there's still that patch of grass in the backyard. Pudgy and Slapshot need to get the four-wheeler out to take out the rest of the yard.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, did you see the news story out in the West Coast somewhere where that otter keeps stealing the surfboards?
No.
Yeah, there's an otter that swims out in the ocean to the surfers, and it takes the board. And it's so important that the otter has been given an official designation. So Otter 894 keeps stealing surfboards. And they don't understand why the otter keeps stealing surfboards. And Pudgy knows why. Because the otter takes the surfboards back to the beach, sells them to the surfboard shop place, and then finally the otter can afford the better sushi.
Okay.
And then the otter goes to the bait store and buys the minnows, and then it's like, oh boy, sushi time.
Yep. Sushi. Lenrod says the tree might be sad from losing its original owner. That could be. But we're nice owners. We're
Mr.
nice
Raymond, Mr. Raymond cannot tell a lie. He did not cut down the cherry tree.
Yep. Phantom Outsider says, I am sure Snowderpoopus Cuber has heard how an adult hedgehog can cuss so much that an innocent polar bear can be reduced to sobbing and tears. And
yeah, it's time for Andrew Dice Pudgy.
In your adventures, have you ever found birds drunk of overripened berries?
Yes, and they're quite giggly.
Ah, giggly. Okay. Giggle juice.
Yep. Step 1, find a cardinal. Step 5, find out everything in the forest.
All right. And Antiderivative Jill is asking, what is Pudgy's favorite type of sushi?
Oh, good question. Chocolate chip cookie covered with cake frosting.
That's not sushi.
Wait, you're right, Mr. Raymond. You get the red licorice, and then you have to cut it real thin, and then you wrap it around cotton candy.
Okay, that's a little better, but sushi's made out of fish and rice.
Oh.
Me, I like tuna sushi. Can't do eel. Ugh. Can't do crab. Ugh.
Now, Pudgy doesn't eat a lot of fish. Well, it's not that Pudgy doesn't like fish. Pudgy does like fish. You know, whenever Cobalt gets a fishy, he'll share with Pudgy. But, it's a case of, so Pudgy goes to the river, looks down into the water, falls into the water, curls up into a ball, floats to the surface, winds up in Beaver Town. Beaver's like, oh, hi, Pudgy, welcome back. And then they eventually take Pudgy to the Beaver bar, and then the Beaver is like, here, Pudgy, have a stick on us. And then Pudgy has to chew on the stick along with the other beavers, and then eventually the beavers takes Pudgy back home. And it's a big long day, and Pudgy has a lot of fun.
Okay, Jill says only the rice. Well, let's go back. Okay, Phantom Outsider says Pudgy likes faux sushi. Jill says only the rice is necessary for it to be sushi. The fish is the sashimi. But she'll make an exception for your candy sushi. And I think, and Legata says, I think Pudgy thought sushi is shoegaze. And Lenrod says, sushi is bait, not food. No, not true. Not true. Heresy,
Hey.
Sandra.
Have you ever had the spam sushi?
No, because I don't eat pork. But how is that?
Well, basically, you take a can of spam, and then you get the knife out and you cut it like ribbon thin, and wrap it around the rice. And if you have the seaweed, you would use the seaweed. Otherwise, you would just double up on the spam. It is not healthy whatsoever. But it's a thing that's available out in Hawaii.
Interesting. Spam sushi. Spamalot, the only spam anyone should ever consume.
Spam, 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 spam. Wonderful spam, glorious spam, 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 spam.
All right.
Pudgy missed Monty Python. Pudgy doesn't know why they took him off television.
They were getting old, probably.
It's some sort of rights thingy. Pudgy, remember they went to Netflix for a while? The best Monty Python movie is whenever it's all those guys in the building and they're the accountants and they pull up the anchor and then they sail it, the accounting seas and they take on New York City.
I remember that. I remember that one. I used to love. My favorite part was all the animation. I love the animation in Monty Python.
And the beast stops in its tracks because the animator had a fatal heart attack. Oof.
Oh yeah.
There's only one way to eat Spam, and you have to either pan-fried or burn it. You put it on the grill, and you render out all the salt and the fat, and then what's left is burnt salt.
Snort says spam sushi, icky poo, spit, spit, spit. And Phantom Outsider said, my dad likes scalloped potatoes with, yes, you guessed it, spam.
Pudgy likes a little Spam. The problem is that you get that can, and it's like you have more Spam than it's safe to eat. Although Pudgy saw one time they have a foil pouch, and it has only a third of a can in there, but it's the same price as the full can, so it's like you might as well just buy the full can, and then it's like, hey, look, we have a can to play with now.
Legata says the jokes of Monty Python would be considered offensive by snowflakes today, and the studios would have never allowed it to be made, sadly. John Cleese even stated so. Yeah, so sad.
This parrot is no more. It has ceased to be.
Spam potatoes and Velveeta. Only Asians can handle that level of salt. Also, Italians have high salt tolerance.
One time, Pudgy got rice, and then Pudgy found this bottle. It was Kiko Man or whatever it is.
Kikoman.
Yeah, it tasted really good, and Pudgy put a lot of it on and was munching away, and then Pudgy gained a pound, and Pudgy's like, how much salt is in this stuff? And then Pudgy looked at the label and like, Pudgy knows why. So then the next time it snowed, Pudgy spread the Kiko Man out in front of Pudgy's doorstep, and the snow melted. One problem: the bunny started to lick the doorway.
Yep. Yeah, my boss today was telling me this is how much salt you can eat. You can have 2,000 grams of salt a day. And I'm saying, nah, that's not enough salt. Let's see.
You know what's crazy? They make Spam with soy sauce in it now because normal Spam didn't have enough salt.
Foil pouch, 3 slices of Spam.
Spam, 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 spam. Wonderful Spam, glorious Spam, 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 spam.
Soy sauce, or as my cousin calls it, Filipino ketchup.
Do you know that they make turkey Spam?
Ooh.
Pudgy had it once. It's actually not bad.
I may have to try turkey Spam. Since Pudgy knows about Monty Python, does Pudgy also know of other UK comedies like Benny Hill or the Carry On Gang?
Pudgy, remember Benny Hill? That's the one that everyone runs around and goes, you know, that song that Pudgy thinks it's called Yakety Sax. or maybe it's the Benny Hill song. Whatever it is, like the normal episode is like, okay, this is a show, and then everyone's running around and the music's playing, and Pudgy's like, yay, it's time for the run around and listen to the music part.
Yakety sax. And Phantom Outsider says, turkey spam is an affront to nature, same as turkey bacon. Hey, don't knock it unless you try it.
Yeah, turkey bacon isn't bad.
Yeah, especially for those who can't eat pork.
You can, but then you'd get in trouble.
That's true. That is true. Phantom Outsider says yakety sax. And Snortapoopa says that congealed mess in a can of Spam always reminds me of some kind of lube for an axle. That's what they used during the war. Snort.
Yeah, eat the Spam, put the rest into the Jeep, and then the war was won.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Yakety Sax was made by Boots Randolph, and people remember it being used in those Benny Hill skits.
Yeah, that was the best part of the show.
Yep. All right.
Well, Mr. Raymond, is it time for...
Yes, it is, Pudgy. It is time for show notes. Let's hear the new Pudgy voice do it.
Dun, 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 dun. Show notes with Mr. Raymond. Show notes with Sandra too. Mr. Raymond, push the button.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes with Mr. Raymond and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. Done.
All right. It is show notes. And Snortapoopa says, time for a nap. And Jill says, good idea, Snortapoopas. And yeah, it's close to bedtime myself. And I see Pudgy's starting to nod off too.
Oh, sorry. Pudgy was writing something down.
Oh, okay. Think of Benny Hill's Angels during the show note. Aha! Think of Benny Hill's Angel during the show notes with the trio on them. Are you listening, Fett? All right, show notes. First off, I want to thank Pudgy for visiting on this show tonight. I had a great time. I'm sure you had a great time. And Dalek says,
yes, Pudgy had lots and lots of fun. Thank you very much for inviting Pudgy to come on the show, Mr. Raymond.
Glad to have you. And of course, you'll be on Saturday.
Wait. Cobalt, will we be here on Saturday? Oh, Mr. Raymond, Pudgy can't come on Saturday.
Mama Eagle?
Yes, we're going to a place, and it has bakeries and food and all sorts of stuff. It's up in the mountains somewhere, and there's going to be eagles and bears, and it's going to be some sort of big animal jamboree. So, Pudgy will see if Pudgy can take photos. But depending on what happens, Pudgy will definitely be around, at least in the chat.
Okay. Well, we'll miss you, as always, when you're not here.
Yeah, Pudgy misses not being on the show, but at the same time, whenever there's cake, lots of cake available, then Pudgy's like, oh. Show or cake? And Pudgy is conflicted.
I know,
But
me
not,
too.
but not to worry, because the week after that, Pudgy will definitely be here.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, that will be a Sunday mission. Sunday
in the Raymond Coliseum.
Yeah. Dalek 451 says that sounds fun, Pudgy. And Legata says, sadly, Fett will not be on social media as much for a while. Yeah. Well, keep Fett in your prayers, guys. Keep Fett in your prayers and good thoughts. So he's a great guy, and he needs our love and support. All right. So now the show notes. Next week, a week from today, we're going to have Margaret's Saving Grace Bully Rescue. We'll be talking about their pit bull rescue. On the 5th, we're on an away mission, so we will be doing a Sunday show. On the 9th, we will have Janet from Another Planet. On the 16th, we'll have Hungry Boy Prog Rock. On August 23rd, we're going to have The Prophet, Anti-Derivative, and Jill and I will be talking about the prophets in DS9. And on August 30th, we will have Hannah Carpenter, who I met at the Comic-Con. She will be coming on, and we'll be talking about Mothman. For those of you in the East Coast, I'm sure you've all heard of Mothman, especially if you're from West Virginia. So we'll be talking about that show or that legend. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up on King Dolphin TV. We've also got...
Because Mr. Raymond's awesome.
Yes, Mr. Raymond is awesome. And also, keep in mind that Blood Feud is out. And we're currently taking more pre-orders. Please be patient with my copious free time, and I have to work with my producer, Sandra, who's also got the access to the mailing. So please be patient. We will get them out to you. I'll be sending emails to let you know what the shipping and handling and all the financial stuff for Blood Feud. So yes, that is coming out, and that is all of show. Oh, and one thing, Pudgy gave me this idea. I will be coming out with some interesting stuff, probably after the 2-year anniversary of King Dolphin TV. So, thank you, Pudgy. You've given me some great ideas.
Yay!
Yay! Yes. You mean the poorly produced, problematic prophets of DS9 and LOL. Yes. Yes, Phantom Outsider. Snortapoopa says, take care, every human, dolphin, doggo, Dalek, Hedgehog, Ferret, Eagle, and Tribble. And Anti-Derivative Jill says, yes, Phantom Outsider, those nosy bodies. Yep. All right. So let us wrap up show notes.
This segment is brought to you by thedolphinboys.com. It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. With Mr. Raymond and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. Dun.
Legatus. Legatus. I think it's a tie. I wish I would have put up pinned a poll to see what is the winner: new voice, original voice, or mirror voice. Well, we know if it's mirror voice, we should be scared. We should be really scared if it's mirror voice. John likes original voice.
Well, as with everything, this is a work in progress. And like Pudgy was saying, Pudgy needs a clearer voice whenever Pudgy does the narration for the story videos.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure between you and Cobalt and everybody else, you'll figure it out, Pudgy. You're a pretty smart hedgehog.
Yay!
Yep. And okay, and there's to go to the Dolphin Wars website. Oh, and now since we're talking about Dolphin Wars website, gotta play this one more time. I love this song.
Yes, it's a really good song.
Yep.
Pudgy figured out how to push the button so that Pudgy could get Mr. Raymond's song.
Mm-hmm. Remember, we have a website, thedolphinwars.com. And Pudgy has a channel, Pudgy Hedgehog Adventures on YouTube.
Yay! Thank you very much, Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, Pudgy.
Yeah, thank you for letting Pudgy come on the show. Thank you for having Pudgy on. So Pudgy can promote new YouTube channel thingy, and then and whenever Pudgy had the website. Oh, that reminds Pudgy. Pudgy website should have changed a little bit. But Pudgy will send out notice on Pudgy Twitter account whenever that happens.
Okay. Hello, Agent Pepsi 1.
Hello.
Sorry, we're wrapping things up, but hope to see you on Saturday. And hope you catch the replay on this. And hope Dipsy is fine. And I hope you're fine. So she just got back in. Well, welcome. Good. Hope to see you then. So let me thank everybody who's been here. Agent Pepsi 1. We had Phantom Outsider with his Phantom Outsider with his polar bear banter. And then we had the amazing anti-derivative Jill. It's always good to see you. And I will put your channel out there. Do do do. Do 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 do. There's
Phenomena Phenomena anti-derivative Jill. Go to our channel.
And yes, Doomcock is not doing pop culture breakdown tonight due to family issues. Please keep him in your prayers as well.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see, where was I? All right. We had the amazing anti-derivative Jill, and there is her channel. She does great things on Tuesdays, Fridays, and is an amazing contributor to the Clobber Times web sing. Here, yes. Please put a DC out there. Okay. Let's see. We had Dalek451. Thank you for being here, Dalek. John Rendell, thank you for being here. Lenrod, always good to have you here. We had the first one, the last out. First one, last out. Legatus Legion I. Oh, yes. Please put an F4H out there for our friend, our brother, Pet for Hire. And send prayers out to him as well. And of course, this past Monday was 1 month since I lost my mom, and I'm doing fine. But I love your support. You guys are the greatest. All of you guys are amazing. I love you all. And thank you for all the prayers and everything. And let's see. Of course, my producer, my better half, the love of my life, Sandra. I love you, baby. And finally, last but not least, the hardest working bear on the internet. Flora Pupas! Cuber.com. And Sniffles, Cuber. Yes. .org, snifflescuber.org. Great show. Pudgy, good luck on your channel. Good luck on your channel.
Thank you, Mini Snort and Sniffles and Mega Snort.
All right. So, Pudgy, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure that you were here. I think you're amazing. I wish you best of luck on your channel. And
Thank you, Mr. Raymond.
And I look forward to when I can come on and be your guest.
Yes, everybody, the very first guest, well, the very first official guest is going to be Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, Pudgy. I am honored. I am honored. All right, everybody. You all have a great rest of the week. Pudgy, stick around when we go in the back room. Everybody, have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of the week. I love you all, and we'll see you on Saturday for Just Cuz. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.